That's it. That's the end. 2023 is over. Well, for the channel anyway. It's technically not over yet, but I started this year with the pledge to make weekly videos, and I certainly did that despite how awful it became. I made a weekly video consistently from January to August for a total of 29 to 30 videos straight. Summer is really awful, so by the time summer came around, the exhaustion was starting to hit me, especially with my lovely California 110-degree days, and because of the job I had, which was working at a school. So summer was even more busy for me outside of YouTube. Um, as the year progressed, and by the time December rolled around, I was definitely the most burnt out I have ever been in my entire life. I was barely getting videos out, I stopped streaming entirely, and I just had a complete lack of motivation, but despite all of that, 2023 was my best year ever. I started and finished the Arc 7 videos, which I think a lot of those are actually quite good, especially the Phase 8 one. A lot of people ask where the Arc 8 videos are, and if you couldn't tell by my previous statements, there's your answer. I'm tired. The idea of working on hour-long videos has not really been appealing to me. The Arc 8 Phase 1 video is being worked on very slowly so that I don't crash and burn again, and I'm not going to promise when it will come out, but producing one of those a month was brutal and heavily contributed to my current burnout. This was also a year where I got to start making ReZero content that I actually enjoy more. Not just recapping the phase and sprinkling in my thoughts, but stuff like the Globe Theory video, or, the Royal Selection video, or the Morality of Subaru video. And I plan to continue more of this into 2024, and also I want to make more novel-specific content, because a lot of you have probably realized that I make a lot of anime-specific content, but I do want to change that going forward. I also started to talk about something that I've been passionate about in my real life for a very long time, workers' rights. And I was having a good time raising awareness for things like mangaka work schedules, the reality of anime staff, and hot topics like Studio Mappa's worker abuses. Much to the dismay of some, the My Hero Academia content on this channel absolutely tanked. I went from making a video on MHA every other week to making a video on MHA every 2 to 3 months, if that. And, sorry guys, but I don't plan on changing that going into 2024. First, it's not all that fun to be critical of MHA all the time around the clock, especially when I could be using that time to stoke the flames and spread the agenda of ReZero, or, actually talk about series that I'm having fun with. MHA is currently a series I feel almost nothing about. Every chapter now is almost pure indifference, and I'd rather talk about things that interest me more. Second, the MHA fanbase, unfortunately has negative IQ, and at some point, you get really tired of the horrendously bad faith retorts or people spending months every single day talking about you for something as inconsequential as, not liking a chapter that week. I don't like the MHA fandom, and I don't want to be involved with them anymore. Bottom line is, 0 MHA videos in 2024 if possible, minus, of course, Act 3 of the retrospective. That video will more or less be my send-off for MHA content, but I also can't rule out the possibility of making a What Went Wrong video for Season 7 if it goes to shit, because that would just be funny. In terms of streams, in 2024, I want to get back on MHA streams because I know thousands of you guys actually come out and watch that, and I feel bad leaving you all out for so long. Some of you have asked me why the ReZero chapter streams stopped so quickly, and the answer is simple. Nobody watches them. The MHA streams get 130 viewers and the ReZero ones get 30. And YouTube is a platform where if you do things nobody watches, it really hurts you entirely. And maybe I'll start to back up when Season 3 rolls around and ReZero actually has interest on YouTube again, but until then, I have no plans on going back to chapter streams. I think some of my recent videos have actually been some of my best, I think my analysis skill has increased significantly. Things like the Vinland Saga and Masculinity video, the Morality of Natsuki Subaru, MHA's take on Nature vs. Nurture, the Truth About Modern Isekai, which I think is my best ever, Freerun and the Hero's Journey, and the Problematic Media video. I think my content has sort of grown up, which is the best way I can put it. I think the things I'm pulling from the text are more impactful or details that have gone more unnoticed than prior. And this kind of content is stuff I want to do more in the future. I finally got around to doing what I talked about on stream for a long, long time, the Media Literacy series, and I think it's quite good. They're still sort of a victim to the weekly release cycle, but I think I said about 90% of what I wanted to say with them, so we take those. And you guys seem to really enjoy them, which makes me very happy. Ultimately, everything I do is so I can give you guys some good shit to watch. I'm not sure what Media Literacy 103 will be about, but if I get a concept, I'll make it, so just wait. Going into 2024, there are 2 primary things that I want to do. Number 1, weekly videos. for all intents and purposes, that's done. I will no longer be forcing myself to make a video in 3 or 4 days. Instead, I will make videos and they will go up whenever the fuck they are done. Sometimes, that might coincide with a weekly release schedule. Sometimes it might be a little off. It's unlikely that, 3 or 4 weeks will go by without a video unless I'm working on something massive, like maybe the retrospective. This will allow me to do a couple of things, like actually get back to releasing previews for members more consistently and giving members more than just 24 hours early access to videos. I feel very bad for how I've done my membership on YouTube stuff. I feel like it's been very lackluster, and I want to do better with that this year. And I am afraid of doing this. I fear that part of my success in 2023 can be attributed to the weekly release cycle, as YouTube is very fond of consistency. I'm afraid that this move is going to ruin it all, and YouTube will just stop pushing me. I don't know what's going to happen, but I can't really ignore the irony of me talking about how fucked weekly schedules are for mangaka and stuff, and just do the same thing. This video you are currently watching will be the final weekly scheduled video for me. I know there's one more week in the year, but I will not be posting. I will be enjoying the end of the year, as well as working on content that feels more substantial to me. I posted a poll for members. The first video of 2024 will be a very big Al from ReZero video, or Aldebaran, whatever you want to call him. The second thing, speaking of something substantial, is I'm really into a series format. The media literacy series is fun, and I want to do another one, and I want it to be something big. I want to make a really big video series. One of my biggest wishes for content is that I want to post something that feels like an event for people, I have some very vague ideas of what that could be, nothing solidified yet, but 2024 is the year I want to start my biggest project ever. And I want something that you guys would be really excited to see, and something that a lot of people would lean back in their chair and go, fuck yes, when they see it in their sub box. If I don't make it happen, I don't make it happen, but it's one of my goals for the year, and I hope I find the time to brainstorm what that might look like. Oh, last second thought, maybe we could also redo the MHA and ReZero popularity polls this year. That would be fun. I really enjoyed doing those. But to summarize, no more weekly videos, but sometimes you might not notice that. MHA chapter streams will be back. I aim to do even better in 2024, and if ReZero Season 3 kicks off, I'm going to go harder than I've ever gone. And this year, I want to do something very eventful. Thank you to everyone who stuck around through this video. I assume people aren't going to watch this because it isn't your usual, Ask About the HS video, but that's fine. Real ones are here. This year was insane for the channel. We hit 10K. It got over 7,000 subscribers this year, and we're currently almost at 13,000. We had 1.9 million views, which is fucking insane. We had 84,000 likes. We had 5.2 thousand comments and 5.1 thousand shares, which is insane, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for sticking with me through 2023, and let's hope YouTube doesn't snap and kill us in 2024.